Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Talks on the Intelligence channel. I am your host, Sanskriti Kadam.
And I'm Krishi. Shah. Today we have with us Husain Rehmanji, who has secured a placement offer at ZS Associates with an impressive package of 13.65 lakhs. Hello and welcome to this podcast, Husain.
Hello, thank you for calling me on this podcast.
Please take us through your experience with the ZS Campus Beach Challenge. How did it feel when you got the placement offer?
Uh, okay, so this Campus Beats challenge, which we'll talk about in detail later. This was a very long running challenge, and there were various stages. So after few weeks or even a few months that this went on for, when we finally got selected and we got the mails, it was actually a wave of excitement and relief for all of us who got selected and for our families too. It was a very happy moment. So yes, there was a long struggle, but yes, we did it in the end. So we were very happy.
So, can you walk us through the key stages of this competition?
Okay, so the campus beat challenge, which is slightly different from what ZS comes on campus and gives direct interviews and placements to students. This was somewhat different from that. This was a national level competition where colleges from all over India participated. Initially, this was a group challenge. This was supposed to be a group challenge initially, where there was supposed to be a group of 3 to 4 people, compulsorily one female student in that. And the questions in my role, my specific role that I had applied for, were based on aptitude. So there were a lot of logical questions, there were numerical questions, quant, there were coding questions too, because this is a semi-technical role. The role that I have applied for is a semi-technical and semi-consultant role. So they focused on somewhat easy to medium level DSA questions. There were a good amount of SQL questions which ZS focuses on, and there were front end web development questions. I'm sure you'll find all of that online too. There's much material available online. So yes, this was the first stage of this competition where we were supposed to give it in a group. And those who got shortlisted, those teams who got shortlisted, were then given individual mails to give a verbal assessment, which was supposed to be reading, listening, speaking, writing skills, English skills. And this was the verbal assessment, which was not an eliminatory round. After that, those of us who passed this second round were invited for online interviews, first round of online interviews, which was supposed to be a technical round. So in this technical round, they focused more on our resume firstly, our projects. ZS focuses on most is SQL. So databases and SQL is a very important aspect which needs to be thoroughly studied before any ZS interview. And yes, DSA is not that difficult for a ZS interview. This round went on for around 45 minutes to an hour on average for every candidate. Those who passed this round were invited for a final round of interviews, which was again online in our case. This was supposed to be an HR interview. It went on for around an hour or an hour and 15 minutes in my case, where they asked me a guesstimate, some puzzles which can be found easily online. There are logical puzzles that can be found online. And they asked me questions on my resume. And yes, I think that was it. And the basic HR questions that anyone asks, if you are willing to relocate to your office location, or why are you a suitable candidate for this role? Why should we select you? All of that. So yes, these were the major stages of this program.
So it seemed to be a very long process. What skills or knowledge did you focus on to crack the challenge?
So again, as I said, the major aspect that one needs to be thorough with is SQL and databases, because if you're going for a semi-technical role in a company like ZS, they focus more on SQL. So that's the first advice I'd give to anyone who's applying here. Secondly, DSA. Again, without DSA, there's nothing in placements. So you need to have a good knowledge of around easy to medium questions on lead code. If you are able to tackle medium level questions from just generic concepts like there's trees, there's basic math questions, there are array questions. That's enough for you to crack a semi-technical interview like this. But being consistent with DSA is something that I would advise to everyone. That is another thing. Uh, okay, communication skills are a must in these types of roles. In a company like ZS especially, because you will work as consultants, so you need to have good communication skills. Communication skills does not equal directly to English speaking skills. Okay, you need to be confident in your approach. You need to have a very good body language when speaking to someone. That's what the interviewer notices about you. So be confident and work on your English speaking skills, but just be confident in general. That is it. And aptitude questions and logical questions are not very difficult for someone coming from a technical background. So that is also something that you should work on, but after the points that I mentioned previously.
So, how did you prepare for the competition, both technically and mentally?
So again, I I was consistent with DSA since the past few months, majorly on lead code. I'm not more inclined towards competitive programming. You should know what the difference between competitive programming and DSA is. Okay. Being consistent on lead code with easy to medium level questions gets you through a semi-technical interview, like I said before. And apart from that, technically, I have had experience with internships and some projects in front-end web development. You could choose any stack as long as you have those problem-solving skills that companies look for. So choosing which stack is not that important, but just being consistent and knowing what you are actually doing in that is very important. And mentally, as I said, this was a very long process. So I had kept in touch with my teachers and my friends, especially, who are a big moral support through any placement process. So I would suggest being in contact with your friends and just keeping up that moral fiber throughout this process, because sometimes placements get very long and it's mentally exhausting because you apply for some companies and nahi hota hai, and again you have to apply, and then it's a very long process. So you need to be mentally strong. That's all I need to say.
So, how much did having a very good team play a role in your success?
So again, this connects with our last question that you need to have friends who are going to support you throughout this. But when it comes to team building and team management, particularly, the first round in my case was, as I said, a team-based round, and it was not very difficult. The questions were not technically detailed and difficult, but the time required to solve those questions was very limited. So the major key lied there in solving these questions in the least amount of time as possible. So we had made a strategy in our team to divide all the questions and divide the work individually. So two of us were working with some another problem, and two of us were working with another problem. That was how we were able to complete this in time. Because I know there were many other teams who couldn't even do it in time. That's where they lagged. So just communicating in general with your team and just planning a strategy, a rough strategy, not something very detailed, but just keeping a plan of action in mind with your team is very important.
What advice would you give to students aiming for high paying placement packages?
So for high paying placement packages, firstly, I'd say be patient. That's one thing, because placements is not all about your talent, sadly. Unfortunately, there's a lot of chances and circumstances going. It's general, okay? It's a well-known fact that there are chances, and you just need to be patient throughout the process. For high-paying packages, you know that the higher the package, the more skills they require from you. So if you're aiming for a completely technical role or a software development role, Having a very good software profile is very important. Do many internships. Have good experiences in your internships. It's not important to go for big companies for big internships. You can go for startups, you can go for small companies as long as they offer you that experience that is required in your initial stages, right? That is one thing. Exploring different stacks is a very good strategy because sometimes you might be struggling with front end and then you explore backend in your later stages, and then you find out that backend was my thing. So it's a good practice to initially explore all the tech stacks. This is specifically for a technical role. Going being consistent with the DSA, very important again. For a purely technical role, DSA is a must. Competitive programming is another add-on. Some roles just pick up on competitive programming skills. So it will be good if you practice daily contests on the platforms that are available online. For semi-technical interviews, of course, all the other factors play role. Your communication skills matter, your logical thinking matters, your problem solving matters, and yes, I think that is it. If one is consistent with all of this, I'm sure they'll be able to secure high-paying packages.
So how do you see your future at ZS? Like, what are you most excited about in terms of career growth?
My role at ZS was something of a dream role for me because I didn't fully want to go with a technical role, or that would have been too boring for me. So my role at ZS is a combination of technical skills, communication, management, some data analysis too. My role is called Business Technology Solutions Associate. It is a BTSA role, and I'm excited about the company because it's a very big brand name. Uh, it will be a proper corporate experience for me, which is the first time for me. So yes, I'm actually excited about it, and because this was my dream role, and because this was something I was aiming of for a long time, yes, I'm very excited for this.
Could you tell us about your experiences in college committees and extracurriculars?
Okay, so yes, again, college committees and extracurriculars play a very important role in your profile. Uh, as far in my case, they asked me about my management experiences in committee. So the committee structure in our college is that of a co-committee member or a core member, right? When you are a junior, when you are in your first or second year, you are a co-committee member in committees. And in your third or fourth year, you get a chance to be part of a core committee member. So I'll be honest, I was not there in any co-com. I was not a part of any co-committee. And I had applied it. It wasn't that I hadn't applied, but I didn't get selected in my first or second year. So I was very sad about that. I got selected as a core member in a technical committee and a non-technical committee in my third year. So it was more of a burden then, but again, I learned to manage all of that. And these things played a very important role in my profile because then you have management skills on your resume if you are a part of a core. So
Hmm.
in my interview specifically, they asked me about my management skills here. They asked me about my communication skills. They asked me about my team building skills, which is something that you can experience easily and something that you can learn very easily if you are part of a committee. So I'd suggest everyone to have some or the other extracurricular and co-curricular activities when you are in college to just have that overall all-rounder profile.
So how did you manage multiple responsibilities like studying, being the CR, also being the placement coordinator of our college during the college?
Uh, so yes, you should not have revealed that, but yes, I had these positions, and it got challenging sometimes. It got very frustrating sometimes. I'll be honest. Uh, but yes, it helps you in the long run. I won't lie. Being having any management experience, being in a position of responsibility, helps you in the long run because people notice that you have worked in this position for so and so time. So it not only helps you with your own personality and your own skills, but it adds on to your resume and your profile. So I would say that managing is a difficult process, but it is an experience nevertheless.
So have you worked on any research projects? And if yes, so can you just talk about it, the experience of the working on the project in detail?
Okay. So again, for those of you who are watching this and who want to aim for placement specifically, uh, having a good research profile is not that important. You need to focus more on your resume and your project. But yes, research projects add a lot of value to your resume only if it is published in a well-known conference or a good journal. That is, I would not get much into the details of how a research publication is done, but yes, it is a part of our curriculum to have at least one or two research projects at hand. So yes, I have worked with a research project, and another research project is going on right now. And yes, it is again an experience. You get to learn a lot while working on a research project. So yes, I would not get into the detailed steps of how a research publication is done. You could find out and watch about it online. But yes, I would suggest that you again have one or two research publications or projects at hand.
So, looking back on your long journey, what helped you the most in reaching where you are right now?
Ah, that's a tough question. Uh, See, again, there were a lot of factors, but I would say we are in our final year now, right? So in these 4 years, I think I have taken challenges as they came toward me. That was something that everyone needs to learn. You just need to take on any responsibility that is thrown at you, and just be consistent with everything. Don't take anything too seriously, and don't take anything too lightly. uh, that will be something that will get you through most of your college life and most of your professional life too. So just being consistent and just relying on your friends for moral support, I think that's all one needs in your college life, right? बाकी तो technical and everything you need to be consistent जो हमने पहले बात की. That's it.
So what's that one piece of advice you would wish someone had given you before starting your journey?
uh, Again, a difficult question. One piece of advice that I wish someone would have given me. This exact thing of not taking anything too seriously, because when you are in college, there are a lot of opportunities that you are going to miss. No matter how talented you are, there will be some opportunities and some things that you are going to miss in your college life, and that's absolutely fine. There's no need to be too worried about anything. Life happens, and there will be much bigger challenges to be tackled. So just keep going in your life. There's no need to take anything too seriously. That's it.
Mm, Thank you, Hussein, for taking time and sharing your journey with us. This should definitely inspire the people who watch the video.
Once again, a big shout out to your placement, and we hope you have a fantastic journey ahead.
Uh, thank you so much. All the best with you both too, and all of those who are watching this. Thank you so much for this, and I just hope you all the best with your futures. Thank you for having me here.